Proportionalities. Now we have the equation distance is equal to speed into time, which directly follows from the way that we have defined speed. So there are some proportionalities that we can write from this. One is that distance is proportional to time when speed is constant. This is usually when we compare two cases for the same person or the same vehicle. The speed might be constant. So let's say that you can cycle 48 kilometers in 3 hours. How long would it take to cycle 80 kilometers? So you're talking about the same person who has a constant speed. We can find the speed and solve this, but let's just look at the proportionality. You can simply say d1 by d2 is equal to t1 by t2 because speed is constant. We are given uh, 48 and 80 as the distances. In the first case the time is 3, the second case the time is unknown. I'll put a variable. If you solve for that variable, you'll get 80 into 3 by 48. 80 and 48 will cut to give you 5 into 16, 3 into 16, and you can cut the 3 and the 3, you will get 5 hours. Just to give a very simple direct example. That is distance proportional to time when speed is constant. That is distance proportional to time when speed is constant. Next, uh, distance is proportional to speed when time is constant. So if you have two objects with different speeds, but they've both moved for the same amount of time, this typically happens in races. A and B are racing each other, and what happens at the moment that one person is just finished and the other is not finished the race is a typical situation. So this gives you d1 by d2 is equal to s1 by s2. And if I were to ask you something like you have two runners A and B whose speeds are in the ratio 4 is to 3 and they race each other on an 800-meter long track. So by what distance does A beat B? Or what is the lead that A has over B when A finishes? So for that you can simply say dA by dB is equal to SA by SB, which is given to us as 4 is to 3. We also have the race is over when the faster person just finishes. So the faster person has done exactly 800. Solve for dB. dB is equal to 3 by 4 into 800, which gives you 600 meters. So at the moment that A has just finished running, B is 200 meters away from the finish line. So the answer is 200-meter lead. That is distance proportional to speed when time is constant. And you also have speed is inversely proportional to time when distance is constant. This usually comes into play when you are comparing uh, the times taken by two people to uh, go from the same place to the same destination when the speed ratio is known, or vice versa. The times are known, what is the speed ratio, but it's usually about different people traversing the same distance. So to give you an example, if I were to say that A and B are two people whose speeds are in the ratio, let's say 5 is to 3, what would be the ratio of the times taken, time taken uh, to travel the same distance? It's simply 3:5 because inverse proportion. Now, one thing I just want to point out, everybody knows this. The thing that I want to point out is that we are just used to, you know, flipping the order of the numbers in the ratio. And what happens if you think in those terms is that, let's say I have three people, ABC. Their speeds in the ratio 4 is to 3 is to 2. What are the times, what is the ratio of the times taken to travel the same distance? It is tempting to say 2 is to 3 is to 4, but it would be wrong. You have to understand why it is 3 is to 5. It's right there in the proportionality that we have written there. Speed is inversely proportional to time. So the speeds are in the ratio 5 is to 3. What happens is that the times are in the ratio 1 by 5 is to 1 by 3 because of inverse proportionality. And when you simplify this, you get 3 is to 5. That is how we are ending up with the terms in the ratio reversed. The order of the terms is reversed. It's because of the reciprocals. So the right way to go about this is to say if the speeds are in the ratio 4 is to 3 is to 2, the times are in the ratio 1 by 4 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 1 by 2. And if you want to rewrite that ratio without fractions, you'd want to multiply every term with a common multiple of the denominators. Quite simply, you can just use the LCM, which is 12. That gives you 3 is to 4 is to 6 as the ratio of the times taken by these three people ABC to travel the same distance. 3 is to 4 is to 6 would be right, and 2 is to 3 is to 4 would be wrong. Just note. And that was the third one. It is speed is inversely proportional to time when distance is constant.